I often describe Lectio Divina as a way of being in church, of being in community with God, without the building and without the rest of the people worshiping beside you. It is a way of attaining communion with God in a personal manner that is truly connecting between the self and God. In Lectio Divina, scripture or art or other writings are texts that can be experienced as the living word. It is a Benedictine practice of reading scripture or viewing art that is intended to promote the knowledge of God and of self. It is meditation and prayer and then interpretation. Henry Nouwen does this in his famous book, The Return of the Prodigal Son, which examines a painting by Rembrandt that depicts the return of the prodigal son of the biblical story. The entire book is an examination of what this painting actually says and is an excellent example of Lectio Divina. Lectio Divina is a way of giving the self over to God and meditation and connection. I chose to read The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, and while Lectio Divina is also work, it is also a joy, and one should experience it as such if one is doing it right. Here is how Lectio Divina works for me. I find a short passage and read it. I then reflect on it and think of the words such as future and dreams. I then sit back and rest while contemplating all the potential implications of this passage and what they might mean for me, what they might mean for my internal process and my connection for God, and how it relates to what God desires from me and my life. It is so intentional, this practice. I find that the rest of my day is calmer, I have greater peace, and I feel more grounded. I have more intentionality in my acts and in my relationship with God. It has brought me a feeling of intimacy with the divine. This practice is scary. It engenders such deep communion with God that one must be ready to see oneself in the face of God. One must be ready to see one's own wild and fierce beauty and take a hold of it. When one opens oneself to the intimacy of Lectio Divina, one truly sees. One sees the self, one sees one's relationship with God and how one walks in the world, and this can be terrifying for some. But it also opens up a whole new way of being in the world, and this, I think, is its greatest gift.